ఎందుకు బట్టి
Good morning, students. So far, you have to complete it 2-3 units. Again, we have to revise the first unit. So in the first unit, we have to discuss with that what kinds of data can be mined and
ఆగమన్నా 10 నిమిషాలు ఇక్కడ స్కూటీ
so here in first unit mainly we have to discuss with that why data mining and what is the data mining, what kinds of data can be mined, what kinds of data can be mined, and what kinds of patterns can be mined. These are the concepts you have to discuss so far in division of the first unit. And now in today class, we have to discuss with that which technologies you have to use and what kinds of applications are targeted while in data mining, and what are the major issues in data mining. These are the concepts you have to discuss in today class. And getting to know your data. So whenever you have to retrieving the data, what type of attributes you have to use, what are the data objects, attribute types, and a statistical description of the data visualization, measuring the data similarity and dissimilarity. These are the concepts you have to discuss in the first unit. So here, which technologies? So far in last class we have to completed, that is the what are the patterns? What kinds of pattern can be mined? So here, first one is characterization and discrimination, and mining frequent patterns, associations, correlations, classifications and regressions, and predictive analysis, cluster analysis, outlier analysis. Oh. So these are all concepts you have to complete it in last class. Now in today's class we have to discuss with that in today's class we have to discuss with that which technologies you have to use. Mainly in the data mining you have to use the technologies. First one is the statistics. Statistics means simply statistics studies the collection of data and analysis, interpretation, and explanation and presentation of data. Data mining has the inherent connection with the statistics. A statistical model is a set of mathematical functions that describe the behavior of the objects in a target class in terms of the random variables and their associated probability distributions. Statistical models are widely used to model the data. A statistical model is a set of mathematical functions that describes the behavior of the objects in a target class in terms of the random variables and their associated probabilities. For example, data mining can be handled. These are the technologies: statistics, machine learning, pattern recognition, visualization, algorithms, high performance computing applications, data warehouse, information retrieval, database systems. These all techniques. It adopts all these techniques from many domains. That is simply you can use the statistics. So here, first one regarding to the statistics. Simply we have to study the information of the collection and analysis the interpretation of the data. And the second one is the machine learning. In the machine learning, mainly we have to discuss that so this diagram shows that is the technologies we have used. So these are the technologies mainly we have to use. That is the statistics, machine learning, and pattern recognition, visualization, algorithms, applications, high performance computing, data warehouse, information retrieval, database systems. All we have represented in these are the technologies which will be adopted by the data mine. First one we have to discuss with that statistic. Simply you can study the information of the studies the collection of the data, and we have to analyze interpretation and presentation of the data. So next one is regarding to the statistics. Um, Statistical descriptions of the data you have to discuss. That is inferential statistics. That is simply call it as a predictive statistics. And a statistical hypothesis test generally make the statistical decisions using the experimental data. And second one is the machine learning. Machine learning nowadays very important role all over the world. The machine learning investigate how computers can learn based on that data. So improve their performance. For example, you have a huge collection of data. From that data, presently, which data you have to collect for the best performance, and regarding to that analysis of the uh, whatever the data you have to data collected from the different people. So to improve your product quality, so that time you have to use it is very useful for the machine learning. A useful concept that is the machine learning. Machine learning investigates how computers can learn based on that data. The main research area for computer programs to automatically learn, to recognize the complex patterns and make intelligent decisions based on data. Example, a typical machine learning problem to program a computer so that it can automatically recognize handwritten postal codes on mail after learning from a set of examples. Machine learning is the fast-growing discipline. Here we illustrate classic problems in machine learning that is highly related to the data mine. So generally, in the machine learning, we have to divide into four types. Generally, we have to represent these four types machine learning. First one is the supervised learning. It is simply, you can say that for simply call it as classification. Unsupervised learning, that is related to the clustering, and semi-supervised learning, that is related to the both the labeled and unlabeled examples. And the last one is the active learning. So active learning is the claim for active role of the learning process. These are the four types of learning processes you can handle in machine learning. So here, for supervised learning means the classification. The supervision in the learning comes from the labeled examples in training data set. For example, postal code recognition problem, a set of handwritten postal code images and their corresponding machine readable translations used as a training example. That is the supervised learning. Unsupervised learning means generally it is a clustering, that is learning process of unsupervised since the input example not class labeled. We may use the clustering to discover the classes within the data. Example, unsupervised learning method can take an input and set of images of handwritten digits. Suppose that it finds 10 clusters of the data. These clusters may correspond to the 10 distinct digits 0 to 9. Next one is the semi-supervised learning. And the semi-supervised learning is a class of machine learning techniques that makes use of both labeled and unlabeled examples when learning to a model. So, for example, here one approach we have to follow. Labeled exams are used to learn class models, and unlabeled examples are used to define the boundaries between the classes. For two class problems, generally you have to use it here. And the fourth one is the active learning. In the active learning is the machine learning approach that users play the active role in the learning process. An active learning approach can ask the user to label an example, which may be from a set of unlabeled examples or synthesized by the learning program. Semi-supervised learning already we have to represent it here. So these are the four types of learning processes you can discuss in that machine learning. And the next one is the pattern recognition. So pattern recognition already we have to discuss with the clustering and outliers. These are the visualization how to we can see that data, whereas images format or video formats we have to represent it, algorithms, high performance computing. So these are whenever you have to you are using these technologies generally to viewing the information, and you have to process that information. You have to use the algorithm applications you have to use. And the next one is database systems. They are very important, databases and data warehouses. Database system and the data warehouses both are mainly focuses on creation and maintenance of use of databases for the organizations and users, particularly database system researchers have established highly recognized principles in data models and query language. Query processing, optimizing methods, data storage, indexing, axing method. These all are simply you can say that database systems research. Uh, Database systems often well known their high scalability in processing very large relatively structured data sets. Uh, Whenever you are using the database systems, easily you can create and maintain, and you can easily can handle. But whereas in data warehouses, it integrates the data originating from the multiple sources of various time frames. For example, some databases are created in one operating system. Some databases you have to create it with a different operating system. So all you have to integrate it. All these databases you have to integrate it with the data warehouse, and it consolidates the data of multiple multi-dimensional space to form a particularly meterized data cubes. The data cubes model not only facilitate OLTP, and it facilitates the OLAP1, that is the online analytical process. So that is regarding to the database systems and data warehouses. And the last one is the information retrieval. In the information retrieval, mainly you have to discuss with that is the science of searching for the documents, uh, searching for the documents. Information retrieval, that is generally you have to call it as IR. Information retrieval is the science of the searching for documents or information in documents. Uh, Information retrieval is the science of searching for documents or information in documents. Searching or what the information you have in documents, those you have to discuss with that information retrieval. Documents can be text on multimedia, may reside on the web. The difference between the traditional information retrieval and database systems are twofold. Generally, information retrieval assumes the data under search are unstructured, whereas the second one is the queries are formed mainly by keywords, which is not have the complex structures like SQL queries in DBMS database. So, what is the difference between the searching for the information retrieval and as well as database retrieval? So, whenever you want to retrieve the data in database, you want to write the query like structured query. select star from EMP. That is generally we have to represent it as one query. You must be represent that that query only you can retrieve that data, appropriate data. But whereas here, whenever you are using the information retrieval, it is not related to the query. Just you have to type the keywords. So for example, you want to type in a Google, hi, hello. So some whatever the information you have to retrieve. So I want to retrieve the information about the data mining. So generally, what is the keyword you have to type? Data mining. I want to type on. I want to type on Google search. So whenever you have to type the data mining based on that keyword, you want to retrieve the information. Okay, clear. But whereas you want to retrieve the data, a particular database like databases, you want to retrieve. So simply you want to write complete information. You want to write the query. Select star from. Select star from in the place of star from. I want to use select data mining related query from the particular table name. So that is the way you have to retrieving. Whereas you are using the information retrieval, that is simply I want to name it as IR. Based on that keyword, simply we can retrieve the information in multiple sources. The typical approaches in the information retrieval adopt generally a probabilistic models you have to use here. The document's long ways model is probability density function that generates the bag of words in the document. The similarity between the two documents can be measured by the similarity between their corresponding long ways models. Furthermore, a topic as in a set of test of documents can be modeled as a probability distribution over the vocabulary, which is called as a topic model. The test document, which is may involve one or multiple topics, can be regarded as a mixture of the multiple topic models. By integrating information retrieval models and data mining techniques, we can find the major topics in a collection of documents, and for each document in the collection of major topics involved. Increasingly large amounts of text and multimedia data have been accumulated and made available online due to the fast growth of the web and applications such as digital libraries, digital governments, healthcare information systems. These all you have to represent. Their effective search and analysis has raised many challenging issues in data mining. Therefore, the text mining is a multimedia data mining integrated with the information retrieval methods. So this is regarding to that technologies we have to use it in data mining. These are the technologies we have to use. So this diagram and that diagram will show the which technologies we have to use in data mining. And next one, another concept is the what kinds of applications what kinds of applications what kinds of applications are targeted as a highly application driven discipline. Data mining has seen great success in many applications. It is possible to enumerate all applications where the data mining plays a critical role. Presentation of the data mining in knowledge intensive application domains such as bioinformatics and software engineering require more in-depth treatment and beyond the application level. So here, which kinds of what type of application mainly you have to targeted here. Mainly two types of applications you have to targeted in data mining. One is the BI, business intelligence. That is a very key important role. And second one is the web search engine. First one is the business intelligence. Which kinds of applications are targeted? Mainly, you have two types of applications you have mainly have targeted. First one is the business intelligence, and the second one is the web search engines. These are the very two important applications mainly you have can be targeted in data mining. Business intelligence technologies provide the historical, current, and predictive views of the business operations. Like examples, reporting, online analytical processing, business performance management, competitive intelligence, benchmark, and predictive analytics. Second one is the web search engines. Well, what is the web search engines? Mainly, you have to discuss with that. A web search engine is specialized computer server for the researchers for the information on the web. The search result of user query is often returned to a list, sometimes called as hints. Based on that hints, you may web pages, images, other types of files can be searched in the engines. Also search for the written data available, public databases, and open directories. Search engines are different from the different web directories. In the web directories are maintained by human editors, whereas search engines operate algorithmically by a mixture of the algorithmic and human input. So just simply you can search the engines by using here uh, uh, three three ways you have to search the engines. The first one is the web search engine, usually very large data mining application. Web search engines also have the to deal with the online data. And third one is the web search engine is also to deal with the queries that are asked only very small number of times. That is regarding to the web search engines. So these are the two types of applications are targeted: business intelligence and web search engines. And the next one is the major issues in the data mining. What are the major issues in the data mining? Generally, here major issues in the data mining is the mining methodology, user interaction, efficiency, and scalability, uh, diversity of database type, and data mining and society. These are the five types of the major issues, major issues in data mining. So generally, the major issues major issue generally we have to present data mining is a dynamic and fast expanding field with the great strength and mining generally data mining research partitioning into five groups. One is the mining methodology, second one is the user interaction, efficiency and scalability, diversity of data types, and data mining and society. These are the five types of groups you have to issues are divided into five groups. First one is the mining methodology. Mining methodology mainly we have to represent mining various new kinds of knowledge, mining knowledge in multi-dimensional space, data mining in interdisciplinary effort, and boosting the power of discovery in new network environment, handling uncertainty, noise, incompleteness of data, pattern evaluation, and pattern guided mining or constraint guided mining. So these are the concepts mainly we have to discuss with that mining methodology. Second one is the user interaction. User interaction mainly you have to discuss the interactive mining and incorporation with the background knowledge and data mining with the data mining with query language, presentation and visualization of the data mining results. So these are the four types of user interactions. And the next one, third one is the scalability. Another third group is the scalability and efficiency. Efficiency and scalability of data mining algorithms you have to use. With these algorithms, you have to mainly you have to use the data repositories and dynamic data streams, and the parallel and distributed and incremental mining algorithms you have to also you can use it here. Uh, Mainly you have to use the in cloud computing. Diversity of database types. Diversity of data types handling the complex types of data, and mining dynamic and networked and global data repositories we have to use it in database types, and temporal database, biological sequences, data spatial databases, network databases. So various types of databases. In all these databases, you have to use this diversity of databases, handling the complex types of data, and similarly mining dynamic and networked and global data repositories. Mainly, we have to use it here. That is the diversity of data types. And the last group is the data mining and society. Data mining and society is the first one. You have the major issues in that data mining and society. First one is the social impacts of the data mining and privacy preserving data mining and invisible data mining. These are the three type of issues raised in data mining and society. So these are the issues of the major issues in data mining. And how to getting to know your data, that is regarding to the first unit. Once you have to completed this one, first unit again you have to revision is also complete. Data objects and attribute types. A data object represents an entity in a sales databases. The objects make customers stores items and sales in medical databases. Generally, you have to use it here. And what is an attribute? Attribute means is simply you can represent it as it is a data field representing the characteristic feature of the data object. The generally we have to call it as attribute, dimension, feature, variable. Anyway, we have to call. Generally, what type of attributes we have to use here, and uh, and here mainly we have the four types of attributes are nominal attributes, binary attributes, ordinal attributes, numeric attributes. These are the four types of attributes I have to represent. First one is the nominal attributes. Nominal attributes means it is related to the names. The values of the nominal attributes are symbols. Name of the things. Generally, we have to call the nominal attributes, and also we can call it as categorical. In for computer science, mainly we have to represent it as enumerations. Example, nominal attributes are suppose hair color, that all you have to represent it as nominal attributes. So this is the four types of attributes mainly you have to use. Okay, nominal attributes, binary attributes, and ordinal attributes and numerical attributes. Numerical attributes are again you have to divide into two types: interscaled attributes and ratio scaled attributes. That is regarding to this attribute. In external point of view, they will be asked like this question: explain about data objects and its attribute types. So you have to explain all the four attributes: nominal attributes, binary, ordinal, and numerical attributes. Numerical attribute, each numerical attributes are divided into two types: interval scaled attributes and ratio scaled attributes. Okay. In next class, we'll continue the remaining concepts. I will give the assignment questions. I will prepare now. If you have any doubts, write on chat box. Thank you.